Hi, I'm Reva with Quality Sewing, and thank you for joining us today. And I have a special guest with us. This is Erica from AccuQuilt.
Hello.
Now, we're really excited to have AccuQuilt in our stores.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what on earth is AccuQuilt and why do we need it?
Well, AccuQuilt is a fabric die cutting system for quilters. It does great things for crafters and for sewists and so many other projects, but at its core, it's meant to make quilters' lives better by cutting their fabric fast, easy, and 100% accurate every single time.
I love that. So this is one of the AccuQuilt dies. Now, this is for Flying Geese, but it's basically like a cookie cutter for your fabric.
That's a great way of putting it. Actually, that's kind of how it was all started.
Oh, really?
It was.
Well, that's
with cookie cutter and a rolling pin.
Oh, that's delicious. I love that. So why don't you tell us, like I mentioned, this is the die that is the Flying Geese, which happens to go with this cutter.
Right.
But so there's a couple things that you need for AccuQuilt. You need a die to do the cutting.
Right.
A mat so it will cut.
Right.
And a cutter that pushes down on the cookie cutter.
It's smushing.
Smushing. A smusher. Yeah. You need a smusher. And then also, of course, you need fabric. So
that's right.
I'm going to turn this over to you, and you tell us what on earth and why.
Okay, so the first thing is that it's safe. Because even though there are really sharp steel blades in here, Reva, I can rub my hand over the top of it, and I'm not going to get cut. You're not going to do that with a rotary cutter,
or
right?
A pair of scissors.
Or a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
So the next thing is that these steel blades, besides being surrounded by foam, it's two colors of foam. So you can tell exactly what your shape is and exactly where you need to place your fabric. So you're not going to have to waste any. Now, the next thing you're going to see is we've cut off the dog ears. So you're going to save extra time by not having to go back and do extra trimming.
I hate cutting off the little points. So as you can see how it's flat here and then it comes up. So that's taken off that really sharp point that would normally be on a triangle. Now, cutting triangles just as problematic anyway.
Right,
because did you get the right angle? Did you do the...
Exactly. We've taken all of that out of the mix for you. It makes it so easy. We've put these on a little bit of an angle on the die board. So going through a cutter is kind of like driving over a speed bump. We want to go one tire at a time over that speed bump so our fabric, because we love our fabric, gets a nice smooth ride.
Well, that's instead of a big ka-chunk.
A big ka-chunk.
Yeah. Okay.
So the first thing, since we do have those on an angle, one of the first questions that people ask is, how do I lay my fabric down? And Reva, let me see some scraps. We're just going to work with scraps today because this is a great way to cut up your scraps. Now, you may not have, maybe you have a big collection of fabric to cut up. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're just getting started. But whatever you do, you're going to have scraps, and none of us like to waste anything. So this is a great way to cut those up. So the first thing I want to do is find my lengthwise grain. That's going to be my tightest grain. And I can kind of hear it. High and tight. Ooh, let's see. Is that tighter? This is tighter. So I'm going to take this piece. This is my lengthwise grain, and I want it parallel to my lengthwise blade.
Tip it just a little
as it goes through the cutter.
So you wouldn't put this on straight with the board.
No, I'm going to line it up with that shape.
Okay.
Yep, I sure am.
And this one, even though it's rectangular this way, this is the tighter one, and this has some stretch to it, so that's the crosswise.
Right, exactly. So, look at you learning this so fast.
I'm trying.
So we're going to cover this, and can I cover it twice? Not quite.
We'll save that for another scrap.
We'll save that for another scrap. We'll do something another day. Now, like Reva said, you got to cover it with the mat because without the mat, there's no magic. So we're going to cover it up. Am I worried about this little tail?
No, it looks like you have enough space because the Go Big has a nice open area here.
Plenty of space. And if it was bigger, I'd just roll it up gently and put it along the side.
Oh, look at that. It even knows that you want to put it in.
This is my Go Big Electric. This is our Cadillac, Reva. If you want the best, this is the cutter to get. It's going to do all the work for you. And I've even added the Go Big die catcher on the back to catch that die so it comes out flat. We're going to give it just a little love and slide that mat off. Now, look at this. This is the moment of truth.
Look at those perfectly cut
Look at those perfectly
pieces.
cut pieces. Now I can cut up to 6 layers at a time. That would cut 6 complete 3x6 finished flying geese at one shot.
That's awesome. Now, I do have a Go Big at home, and I love it because my pieces are cut perfectly, and I
Yes.
pre-cut my quilt patterns. I get my fabric, I pre-cut them, so that way I have a pre-cut quilt kit.
And I love that.
Yeah, and then this little guy here, he's really awesome because I keep him on a bookshelf, and he sits right up. It has a nice handle on him,
Yep.
and like Erica said, this is the die catcher is separate, and it has M&Ms. You should show them the M&M
Oh, yeah.
storage.
So there's M&M storage. It's also great for holding your power source.
Ah.
And the grooves on the side are great for your cables, your cords. This just slides right under the back of your machine. That's all the setup that you need. And it's going to catch that die and hold it. It's going to hold it level for you. Now you can put your cords in there. You can hide your M&Ms from others there too.
How many bags of M&Ms does it hold?
I don't know, but it holds a couple boxes of Junior Mints. So
Okay,
that is my sewing candy of choice.
Okay, so we just slide it up right
slide
there,
it up
and
right
then
there.
this just opens up like this, and we're ready to go. So you might have it out all the time if you're using it all the time, but if you do different things,
Right.
you can just set it on your cutting table, and then when you are doing a garment, you slide it off to the side.
That's right.
So that's really cool. Okay, so what is this right here?
So
Tell us about
this is a strip die, and we have 20 different strip dies in our collection. This is the one that cuts 2.5-inch strips, and it is our top selling die.
So we have grooves here, so I assume this is where the blade, well, I do know. I'm pretending I don't know.
You're pretending, but
there's the grooves in here, which is where the blades are.
right. So there are only lengthwise blades, and the die is longer and bigger so that it will cut 3 2.5-inch wide width of fabric strips on the die. And I can cut how many layers of fabric?
6 layers.
6 layers. So that would give me 9 strips.
Now the 2.5-inch strip is the first one that I ever got.
It's the first one everybody should get,
right?
Reva.
Because you can do your binding,
right?
You can make your own jelly rolls out of your
yes,
scraps.
Yes,
and it's just awesome. But we need the mat for this as well.
Absolutely, we do.
And I'll just point out one little thing. You probably noticed that there were angles on here, so you could do diamonds and squares,
yes,
and all sorts of things,
all kinds of tricks.
And there's this line right here that shows you that no blade passes this. So when you have the fold of your fabric, you just make sure you're inside that fold,
yes.
so you know you're on the blades.
That's right. Oh,
okay.
She's learned so well.
I know, you're a good teacher.
So let's turn it around because we want to put the fold end in first.
Oh, I'm learning something new. That's
something
awesome.
new. We're going to put the fold end first. That way, if we got a lump or bump, it's going to smooth out on its way through.
Thank you. I love that. I did not know that. So, and I've been using it for
all learn new things all the time, Reva.
Every day. I love that. It's so fast and quiet. And I just got my die catcher, and I got to tell you, I love it because I multitask in my sewing room.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah, and so when this way, it doesn't fall.
No.
So
it doesn't. It's great. So again, we're going to just slide this mat off. All right, and let's take a look at what we've made. So we've got 2 little strips over here. That's how we know we have perfectly squared up strips. And the first thing quilters do, Reva.
Do I have a dip or a mountain in my fold? Did I get it on grain? Is it straight? Oh,
it is perfect. It is just perfect. And this is 3. We could have cut as many as 9, and you know what that makes? That makes a queen size binding in one pass.
Right, so 9, you're meaning, because this is folded in half, so this counts as 2 layers. So you could put 3 sets of 2 layers, each cutting 3 strips. 3 times 3 is 9.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, these are perfect. I love it. And there was a little bit of waste here, but truing up my fabric,
that is going to be the same thing.
Yeah, or if not more.
Yeah, if not more. Because how often do we cut straight? Not very.
No, because I tend to get distracted, or the way I'm standing or holding my rotary cutter, sometimes I get it's a little bit of a wave.
A little bit of a wave, yeah, me too.
Yeah, so these are perfect. They're ready for a binding or whatever we want to do.
Whatever
or part
we
of
want.
A jelly roll race or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so now this is all great. I love the fact that we have the dies like the Flying Geese die. And by the way, if I'm going to have you come take a look. So we talked about the little points being cut off, but if you notice, you can see exactly where the point to point is. So you can see right where your 1/4 inch seam allowance is. So it actually makes your stitching really,
that's right.
really
and that's really
nice.
important. We build that in for you so you don't have to worry about it,
Right.
quilters.
Right. So this is good. And I know AccuQuilt has a lot of different shapes. We have a full block. Like if you want to do a log cabin, there's a big die for that. It's called a bob.
Right, or a block on board.
Block on board. And then if you want to do that, you have all that there. Now, let's talk about those of us when I first got mine. I knew I wanted to go big because I didn't want a hand. It's a cute little guy, but he's a hand crank, and I didn't want to do
crank,
that.
you know?
Yeah. So I got myself the Go Electric, and I knew I wanted the 2.5 inch strip cutter.
Right.
But I didn't know which dies to get, because if I wanted, I didn't know which quilt. What quilt do I want to make?
Right.
Do I want to make this quilt or this quilt? Do I want to get this die or this die? And then
we want options,
do.
right, quilters? We want options.
Absolutely. So that's when y'all came out with the cubes. And this made life so much easier.
It really did change everything.
It does. So you see this one says 8. I assume I'm near the 8. There's the 8. So these little guys, and she's going to tell you about it, these go together. It's like it's a mix and match of geometric shapes that go together to make an 8-inch cube of many different styles. In fact, you can see a few of them here. So you're not limited to just one quilt style.
You're
so
not.
Tell us about.
Okay, so if we keep looking at our box, we're going to turn it over here, and it's going to show us the 8 shapes that are inside the box. Now we're going to open it up and show it to you, but I want to look at these shapes because we've got a big square, a little square, we've got big half square triangles, little ones, 1/4 square triangles, we've got a parallelogram and a rectangle. And they're all sized. AccuQuilt's taken the math out of it for us, so we don't have to worry about it. So now we know is that we've got 8 shapes in here, and they're going to work together, and we can build as many blocks as we can imagine.
Before we go any farther, you said something that really sparked my mind.
Yes.
And I've been working with them for a long time, so I get it. But you know the math? You said AccuQuilt takes the math out of it.
Yes.
Triangular math is always weird because you have to add that. You have to do like 3 7/8 of an inch. And it's always such a weird thing to find on the ruler or to make sure you're at the right mark.
Nobody wants to cut that.
So now we don't even have to worry about it. So I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Life is easier.
Yeah.
So the first thing we want to do is look at this, and there's a skinny folder. Pull that one out first so you don't break a nail. But when you open it up, this is going to be your opening roadmap, and it's got a free pattern booklet, and it's got a mat, because without a mat, nothing happens, right?
No magic. You said
no magic. No mat, no magic. So that's the skinny one. We're going to pull that out.
Okay.
Then we get to the dies, and they're going to pull out the same way. So this was kind of inspired, if you will, by DVD sets, if you're of an ilk to remember DVD sets. Or recorded book sets. They used to be a thing. And you'd pull them out, and they'd be in pockets, and they're labeled, and each one has a little free pattern, and each has the shape, and you're going to see the picture of the shape, and you can stay organized, because we all dream of staying organized in our quilting space.
And the outside of the spine also shows what dies live in it. And I keep mine on a bookshelf.
Yep, me too.
And it looks really pretty.
Yes, they do look pretty, and they're useful. And then the other 4 shapes are right in here. So it gets you started, it gives you what you need, and it gives you those 8 shapes. Now, if you want to stop and think about it, those blocks of 72 blocks are all based on a 4-patch system, or 2 across, 2 down. Okay? 4 squares.
Now, she said 72. That's because AccuQuilt has gone through and found 72 different quilt blocks that you can make with just one cube.
With just one cube. And you know what the great thing about the cube system is that every mix and match cube has the same 8 shapes in it. They're just different sizes. And we now have 8 different sizes of cubes. And they make 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, or 16-inch finished blocks.
So you pick the size of block that you like to work with.
Right.
So, like on this, we did a recent quilt along. You didn't know about this. But we did a recent quilt along, And so this is a finished 12-inch block. So we could have easily used dies
Right,
to
you
make
could have.
our thing. And then you can always mix and match the sizes together. Bless you. Bless
Excuse
you.
me.
She's allergic to fabric. Not really.
Not really.
No.
I love fabric.
Yeah. So lots of fun. So it makes it faster because we cut out 6
Right.
layers at a time, and I can set it down and have the machine start squishing it faster than I can probably get my rotary cutter and my my ruler out.
Right.
And I'm good with a rotary cutter and ruler, but the reality is that my edges still aren't perfectly straight because it depends on how I'm standing,
Right.
what my attention goes to, what I'm looking at, and all those
There's
things.
so many variables, and this just takes them all out of the picture and
Yeah.
just lets you cut perfect shapes every time so you can start doing what we love to do, which is sew.
And get it just accurately. And the other thing that's really fun that that I've seen some of your projects that you've done
Yes.
is that she'll take the scraps from that are left around the shapes and use a smaller cube to cut more shapes out of the scraps, so then you can make more blocks.
So
it's just fabulous.
I recently made the same quilt twice, but I made it once with the 16-inch cube, and then I took all those scraps and I made it again with the 4-inch cube.
And so you weren't wasting any
I didn't
fabric at all,
waste
and
a
you had the joy.
thing.
And that turned out to be a cute little table topper.
It is. It actually, I have a collection of mini quilts on the wall in my office, and it's joined the family, but I took it down to come
Well, I
visit you.
I appreciate that. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful, and I appreciate you being with us, Erica.
Absolutely love to. Happy birthday,
Oh,
by the way.
Thank you. Happy birthday, happy anniversary to Quality Sewing. But go ahead and check out our website, qualitysewing.com, and you're going to see that we have a wide array of AccuQuilt products on there. Whether you want to do a hand crank with the Go, or you want the Cadillac, the Go Big, that will cut it for you. It's awesome, and it's going to save you so much time, and you're going to have a better end result and more joy when you have all your pieces cut right. So thank you, and
You're
thank you
welcome.
for joining us today, and we will see you later.